guys, and welcome back to my channel. Igama langu Themsieh Baba Gubeni. A very warm welcome to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. 2023, guys, like we are launching like a rocket. Like Yahandra, we're growing this family, we're going places, and I can only do it with you guys by my side. Thank you so much for the continued support, and yeah, man, there's light at the end of this tunnel. Another thing, you guys, that has been in my heart for quite some time is with regard to the direction of the channel itself, ne? Yeah, regarding the direction of the channel, I'm not sure what we're doing yet. I still feel I feel like I'm still in the introductory phase of the channel, you getting to know me getting to know you guys and interact with you on whatever level we allow each other to interact on. And yeah, so with that, what has been in my heart is us to have a segment, maybe like a once a week video where we tackle topics and issues that affect us on a daily, especially as young adults or even people from like really all ages, all walks of life, because some way or another we connected. So topics, what I mean by topics is topics that affect us on a daily, like from feminine hygiene to like career, businesses, relationships, in-laws, you guys, like just businesses, entrepreneurship, sex, relationship, like dating, romantic relationships, platonic relationships. We just touch on all of those and really just grow together. I want this to be a space where we grow together and we interact, learn, and grow together. Basically, I still need a name for that segment. I was thinking Themsieh Talks. Tell me what you think, and then if there's a suggestion of another name, please do suggest it. Please do suggest, and then yeah, let's get rolling. So with today's video, you guys, I've got notes just for pointers. Like I need to keep remembering and not keep remembering but not forget points. Yeah, so with this topic, it's been long overdue. I've actually been meaning to calculate how many months post. Yes guys, I left my 9 to 5 everywhere, ne? I resigned from my 9 to 5, and as some of you may have known, the past 9 years I've been working in the banking industry for one of the top 4 banks, and in the 9 years, you guys, I've learned a lot. I've gained a lot. My life has changed tremendously, and not just my life but my family as well, and just the direction of my life has changed completely. Just a backstory, remembering this testimony manje, and let me share. In 2012, I matriculated, and I matriculated whilst living in Pretoria, but then home is Soweto. So 2013, I come back home. Okay, no, still in 2012, I worked my butt off in terms of my matric, and I passed exceptionally well. I got 4 distinctions, and then I got admitted to AUJ for accounting sciences, and yeah, like I passed really well. I got into varsity in terms of I applied and got accepted, and then we went as far as going for inductions, you guys, and everything. And this was like the beginning of 2013, because I moved back home and left my mom at her workplace, because we used to live with my mom at her workplace. Yeah, so yeah, I came back home. We went for inductions and all of that, and end of January, registration is done. So what we had been told was we need to pay for registration fees before we can and be deemed students before we can apply for NFSAS and just other like financial aid basically within the institution. So I went for inductions. I got my lanyards and notebooks, and as in, even with my husband now, boyfriend then, no, like an acquaintance then, when he asked me, like I sang Shayla, like, King, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I'm an accounting sciences student with the University of Johannesburg. Guys, come end of January, my mom went, like she tried to get money to pay for the registration fee, but that didn't work out. Like we couldn't get funds to pay for your registration. And when I tell you around that time, like when I realized, like when all efforts and we've tried all avenues. Now my mom, we've gone to the bank to ask for a loan. We've asked family members, and like it was just, my world just turned upside down. Like I was in such a dark place. I cried non-stop. I don't even remember if I ate around that time. But then I was just, and I can't even tell you how long it was. I'm not sure if it was a week or like a space of 2 weeks or what. But then I cried days on end. I wouldn't wake up. It was a mess. Like an example I would have to explain how I felt at that time was I was lifted feet up and my head down, and I was shaken like to take everything out of me, like I did not have anything in me. So that happened. And then around that time as well, my sister invited me to come stay with her and her hubby and kids, and I did that. So a couple of weeks went. Oh, and then that trip is when I met my boyfriend, now husband. Like on the day of the final move, and I had my bags and I was waiting for my brother-in-law at GP station to come pick me up and stuff. I met my now husband. Beautiful story. Where was I? So with that, so around that time, like a week into being at my sister's, I decided I can't sit around and not do anything the whole year. So let me find something to do. So I went on classifieds on Isoete newspaper, I remember well, and we found a post about Ilulaway. Ilulaway is a job placement agency, and I think it still exists to this day. So we found Ilulaway, and there was an advertisement for a vacancy at McDonald's. So I was like, it's just a couple of months and then we'll figure out what I'm doing in 2014. And I SMS my details. They called me back, and I went to the premises. And then when I got there, I filled out forms. They compiled a CV for me. Just the works, guys, the works. And then on a board, I remember there was like different vacancies, and they were like, yes, we know you're here for this one in particular, but then you need to choose 3 and apply for them. So I remember I applied for Ikatleho learnership, and then I applied for a McDonald's level, the reason I'm there. And then I applied for another, I think it was Bidvest or a security company, I don't remember well. But then it was just like, when weighing all of my options, like I knew I'll fall somewhere here, So guess what, you guys? McDonald's doesn't call me back. the other company doesn't call me back, I get called by Ikatlaho Learnership. And I got onto the learnership. There was even a stipend, and which helped a lot because my reason was to keep busy and also have a bit of cash, so like to sustain myself basically. So yeah, I got onto Ikatlaho Learnership. A year later, I was permanently employed at one of the big 4 banks, and my life changed, you guys. My life changed. I got a qualification, an NQF 5 in that year. So 2013, between 2013 and 2014, I got my NQF 5. I got a permanent job, and I was able to sustain myself. And guys, my life, when I tell you God's plans are not ours, it's exactly that. Like, we do not, we can plan all you want, but then God has the final say. God has the final say. And then, I got my first car, got properties, and life changed, guys. Life changed, and to now. So, fast forward to now, I decided, I've always felt I'm a people's person, and I love interacting with people from all walks of life and just, everything beautiful. But then also, I didn't like the environment, or I didn't like being conditioned to a 9 to 5 being the only way to success. Né? As much as I attained all of that I did, I felt this can't be it. This can't be it. And then also when you look like at my grandmother and my parents, and like in terms of business, in terms of entrepreneurship, you see where I get my stubbornness basically. So I finally resigned April the 18th, 2021. I handed in my resignation letter. Guys, I've always known what I want to resign, né? But then that day, like, my life flashed in front of me. Like, for that duration, 30 days notice, I was so nervous, and there was like so much, like, are you sure this is what you want to do? How are you going to sustain yourself? You've got so many responsibilities, and it's black takes, and it's getting your life, like, when Nanje, you high maintenance, like in terms of your assets and stuff. So all of that had to be put into consideration, and I decided I'm really leaving. So 18 May was my last day on a 9 to 5. So June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So January the 18th is gonna be marks 8 months since I last in entrepreneurship. 8 months in entrepreneurship, and I am gonna do a video for you guys with regard to my 2-minute experience in entrepreneurship, and that'll fall into the segment I referred to earlier. But then so I left my 9 to 5. I took that leap of faith. And another motivating factor is I've always wanted to do this, but then why now? It's because my life has changed quite a lot. Like, I'm married now, and then there's gonna be starting a family that needs to be considered, and just responsibilities piling up, and I don't want to find myself in a trap. Yoguti, I can't go because of all this financial responsibility I have and all of that. So hubby was very supportive, my parents are very supportive, my family, like, it's a few people that I told about my decision, and we're on some, are you sure, how you gonna do this? But 8 months strong, guys, Zila, and honestly, I am never ever going back. So life as I know it now, I am able to focus on my physical and mental health. I was able to plan and execute our wedding the way we wanted to. I'm able to spend a lot of quality time with my parents and my family and friends as well. I'm able to spend a lot of time with myself, and honestly, with the luxury of time, you're also able to think out of the box. So yes, you also it goes back to start with start wherever you are with whatever you have. And I stand testament to that, because once I started, like, a lot more avenues were opened, and you able to think out of the box, and you're able to experiment, and not only experiment, but you're also able to get into other sectors and really just find yourself. I'm really in a happy place. I am free, like free, guys. I felt like I was jailed and I was in a box, and manje sesiphumile. And my other thing was the same God that put me through the banking industry, and I learned the ropes of it, and computer. I wasn't computer literate. I did not have ILO. I did not have the qualifications I have now. I did not have the computer literacy. I did not have the financial means to have the life I have now. But then God put me through that, and He showed me over and over again which He will do it. So the same God that did that for Themsieh almost 10 years ago is going to do that for me even today. So yeah, just faith in God, and it's gonna be a journey. It is a journey, and we're journeying on. So yeah, I also missed being me. I also missed being myself, in the sense that there's like pictures of myself that I'd see, and I'm like, I miss that girl, like that girl, I miss that girl, and that girl is this one. That girl is back. So yeah, just things like that. It's little things that you get to appreciate, and then you also like where family is concerned, like having time for them, and also just time for it, because guys, time can never be regained. And looking at how I used to work, like by 8 o'clock, sometimes 8, sometimes 9, I had to be at work. But then that means I leave home at about like 7-ish. What time did I wake up? And then also coming home from work, I get home about past 7, 8, and then it's dinner time, you freshen up, you pass out on the couch, and then tomorrow same routine. So it was just a cycle where I lost myself, I lost relationships, and I lost just the quality of life, and that is time that can never be regained. So yeah, I'm glad I made this decision, and I'm here now. And things. Oh, another thing, you guys, people's first remark, like so I've worked for almost all my life, all my adult life I've worked. So there's people that I come across, and they're like, oh, how's work? And I'm like, I'm no longer, I'm self-employed now. And they will answer, shame, I squeeze, like it's and several people did that. Like once they found out where I am currently in my life, it's like, oh shame, my skis. And I'm like, you guys, like it can't be normal. You like, we're so conditioned to a 9 to 5 being the only way, and it really isn't, you guys. There's so many ways to make money, and I'm going to prove that with my life, and whilst traveling, whilst pushing dreams, pushing checks, and yeah, you guys. So yeah, a lot of the people I like church, as well as just friends or friends of friends and stuff, like, how's work? And I'm like, I'm so baby. And they're like, so I'm like, sorry for eating, I resigned. I resigned. And so what I've picked up in this 8 months is that you need to have discipline. I am still a work in progress in that regard, but then you need to have discipline, and discipline meaning I need to treat myself like a business. So the same way I wake up and go to my place of work, like take a shower, take a bath, prepare and go to my place of work, is the same way I should be now. So you must also have, and that factors in the aspect of routine. You need to have a routine. You wake up in the morning and it's like an hour of gym, and then it's an hour with like your time with God, and then you must always have like a to-do list. I've noticed that I've been more productive when I have a to-do list. Like today, this is what I'm doing, and like this and that needs to be done, and it's such a nice feeling of accomplishment when you do it, when you get to your to-do list and finish it, basically. So yeah, routine is important. I'm still a work in progress. There's days where I wake up and I'm like, I'm not doing this, and just pull my blanket over my head and that's it. But then, yeah, guys, life is beautiful. Life as I know it now is beautiful. Life as I know it now is wholesome, like it's inequality, and I pray that everybody gets to experience that, provided that your finances allow. And yeah, we'll talk about the finances and stuff that I've learned also in entrepreneurship in another video. But then that is me in a nutshell. I am no longer employed by a company, but self-employed. I left my 9 to 5 and I've never been happier. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really hope this was inspirational to you. You learned a thing or two. And till the next video, I will